Hello guys, on this series I'm going to write a Java application from scratch, and I've been thinking maybe we should create something like a prison management system, and I'm going to show you by using the Spring framework. And before we can use Spring framework, you need to understand something called injection. And why do we need a Spring framework? We need Spring framework because of dependency injection. It's gonna be used as injector. So I need to show you this concept. And right here I have Eclipse, and on Eclipse we can create a project. And I'm gonna use Maven. It's a Maven project. Though even though you can use Spring framework, depends on your needs. But I'm going to use a Maven, and on Maven I'm going to project going to be new Maven project, and I have to select the name and the location. So the location of my project. So here I'm going to create a simple project, and I click this check this radio button here, and also then I'm going to leave it as a default on the default location, workspace location. And I need to go next, and on next I'm going to write group ID, and the group ID can be the package. I'm going to say com.ict 100 dot prison management system. So it's gonna be prison ms, and here I'm going to write prison. Okay, let me leave this as my package is gonna be com.ict100, and the artifact ID I'm going to give it ms, and then finish. And here we have the I have the project name, prison ms, and right here the Java system library is set to 1.5, which is quite old, and I want to change this to a newer version, which I'm using is 1.8. And so you have to right click the project, go to the properties, and here at the properties go to the Java build path, and you can check libraries here and click this and remove. Okay, and now we add library. So we can check from this JRE system library, and next, and you see here workspace default JRE is 1.8, and finish. Okay, if you haven't started this JDK and JRE on your system, please watch my videos. You see where I'm showing how to add this system variable and to set this JDK on your system variable. Okay, then apply, then okay, then you can see it has changed to this. And so here we have, this is our project structure. We have the main Java main resources, and also test folder, and also we have the test resources, and this is where we are going to keep all our resources. And here we have POM file, and this is POM file or user graphical user interface. So you can check on the XML, and you can see this is how we are going to add all our jars. If we, in case we need any jar, we add them here, and Eclipse will download this for us. So but before we continue with this project, I would like to show you on here I would like to show you what is dependency injection. And normally dependency injection is basically something, or I would say something that is providing the objects, or I would say the object that an it provides object that an object needs. It's dependencies. So instead of having it construct them itself, it's a very useful technique for testing, and since it allow dependencies to be mocked and stubbed out. So dependencies can be injected into a object by many means, such as a constructor injection or setter injection. One can even use specialized dependency injection framework, such as Spring framework, which we are going to use. Um, and so the Spring framework, it's used to inject dependencies. So, um, but to do that, yeah, but they certainly aren't required. If you don't want to use the Spring framework, it's not required, but you can use it. You don't need those such as Spring framework to have a dependency injection. To instantiate or pass an object, depends explicit is just as good as injection by injected by a framework. So um, I wanted to show you the simple concept, because if we are gonna jump to the Spring framework, you're not gonna see a lot. You're not gonna see how the Spring framework is doing. For example, when you're going to use service, we inject the service maybe to a controller, or we want to use the repository, or we want to use DTO or the DA or data access object or data transfer object, then we have to use some kind of technique to inject. So you're not gonna see it like an object that maybe we initiate object, let's say user is equal to user, a new user. Those you're not gonna see them because we're going to use this independence dependence injection. So I need to show you how that is in real life before we can use a framework. And uh, to do that, I'm going to write some simple package here. First I need to write the package. This package is gonna be maybe com let's forget about this first. Just com.ict100 dependency injection, injection. Let's do like this. Yeah, just call it anything you like. And on this one, I'm going to create some few interface, and I'm going to use something like something more something that it's more real life, something that you can compare and visualize yourself. For example, let's say if I'm saying I create a continent. Continent has countries, and also we have people. So I can, let's say, let me visualize something. I write the interface here, just create an interface, and this interface I'm going to call it continent. See, and on this continent I'm going to write the method called maybe void. Normally what goes to the interface is abstract method, so you can just call public abstract, and the name of the method, let's say, is void get country name. See, and normally abstract method on an interface, we don't, the method do not have a body, so it's abstract. So this is how you write the method within the interface. So normally you can just leave this out, because by default we know this method is public and it's abstract, so you can remove this. It's all the same. And we have few continents, you see, so we can create another class, maybe Africa, which will implement a continent. Okay, Okay, you see, and now it's complaining. It's saying that you have to add an implemented method, which is this one here. So we have to add that method to this Africa class, and right here we can say, let's say sysout, let's say something like what, African countries, you see. So this is how you need to understand, because when we are going to talk about the dependency injection, all these are going to be done. You're not gonna see all these are going to be done by Spring Framework, but now I'm just showing you what you can visualize what is going on. So here we have the interface, and this interface is to implement this method here. Yeah, the implementation of this method here we have provided here, just a simple text which African countries. So we can write another class, and this class maybe we can call it Europe. Europe class, and here Europe class we need to do the same thing, that implement continent, and here it complains, but we just have to we add this unimplemented method, and here let's see out. Okay, we can say European string, European countries, and then maybe we can do the same stuff, another class here. Just copy, Control Alt, then down arrow, then I create another continent which is Asia. Let's say Asia, and then we say Asian countries, just like that. And now we need to do now we need to create want to create another interface, and this interface is going to be here. I'm just going to write in the same file. You see, this is going to be interface people. Okay, on this interface I'm going to say something like let's say void get languages, or get language. It's okay, just a simple stuff. And here we need to create classes. Let's say, let me take this one here, copy, create class here, and this class, the class name is going to be, let's say white people lives in Europe, and here we replace this with people interface, and also we need to get this language here. Get language, and here we print something new, like what should maybe white people languages. So we have this interface, so we have two interface now. We have this interface, people interface, and we have the content interface. So I need to write also these classes here, two more, Control Alt and then down Shift, and then we see here maybe black people, and we implement people, and here black people languages, and here we have maybe mixed people, they're there, and also we type mixed people languages. So you can see this is just an example, so you don't have to care much about what it means, like white people, black people, mixed people, just the concept I want to give you. So you have interface. The first interface is people, and the other one is continent. So what we want to do now, um, we have override all those methods, these methods here. For example, this one we have override this inside here because we have implemented it from we have used whiteboard to implement people, which is an interface, so we override the method here. And yeah, so now we have two interface continent and interface people. So we want to create something like a factory that will make continent and also make people, you see. Yeah, so we need to have something like that will help us to create people, to make people, or to make continents. And what am I going to do here? I'm going to write an abstract class, abstract class, and this class, let's call it make, right? It's going to make a continent and people. And on this abstract class, I'm going to pass I'm going to call abstract, because whatever goes inside, if you create an abstract class, whatever goes inside the abstract this class have to be abstract as well. So here I'm going to pass continent, let's say get continent, I need to see how I wrote this continent. So I am using this interface here, and is abstract of the type continent, and I need to get continent, this method I'm going to create here, get continent, and on this continent I'm going to pass a string continent. Okay, and I need to create another abstract method. This method is going to be people interface, and we need to get people, and it's going to be let's say race, because we have black and white and mixed, so we need to get the race of those people. So, and now I'm going to create another class, and this class is going to be let me call it people. We can start a people make. This is the class, and this class I'm going to extend. It extends make, and you know make here we have this abstract class, so we are extending to this. We are using this people make extend to this one, so that we are able to use this this method here. So so now we have to override this method here, so you can use the keyword at override, because it complains here. So you can see we need to override all these methods that are on this make. So number one, I'm going to write for this get people, and I'm going to write a logic if race is equivalent to no, then we need to we need to return null. And we don't need this one. And then we check as well. We check here. After this, we have to check if res dot echo ignore case, and now we pass if the res is white, if it's white, then if it's white we need to do something, we need to say something, then we create an object of that, then you return new white. Okay, and if so we do the same, else if here, else if res dot echo ignore case black, then we want to do the same, that we have to return new black. Okay, and then we do the same, else if res dot echo ignore case and it's mixed, we do the same, return new mixed. Okay, and then finally from here we know we have to return something, so we have to return null. Okay, so this was for the this method for the people, get people. And now if you want to get you can do the same stuff here, but you're going to change it for the continent. Now you understand the concept. We copy and paste, and now we want to get a continent make. So now I have made the same exactly as what I did here, a class make, extend make, and also class content make, this people make, and the content make, and extend make, and also and this, because we have extended this make, and as you know, make is an abstract class, and abstract class has two methods. So for you to be able to extend to this make, then you have to add implementation for this both methods. So that's why when I extended from this make, I had to add this method here, even though I'm not doing anything. Then I just add it here, and my intention was to use this people get people method, and I have done provided implementation. And this simple implementation, it means that if the res is null, then return null. If the res is equal ignore case white, then we have to return this white object. So it's gonna create this object here if it's going to be white, and if it's going to be black, then it's going to create an object of black people. And if it's going to be mixed, it's going to create an object of mixed people. And that's exactly the same thing I did here on the continent. And on this continent I have to add this method of get people, even though we are not using it, but we have to add some implementation, because we have extended from this make, we have extended from the make, and the make has two methods, and these methods are an abstract. So I have tried to also check here, if the country is equal to null, then we return null here. But if the country is equal to ignore case Africa, then we create object Africa object, or Europe object, Asia object, and at the end of the day we return also, else we have to return null as well. So here I'm going to create a master, a class called master, master make. I just call it master make on top of my, just what, that's what came from my head now. And I'm going to create this method called public static make. Static make. And make, if you remember, make is an interface, and it's here, it's an sorry, it's abstract class here, make. So I'm going to use this make class. This method is a type of the type make, and I'm going to call this method get make, and I'm going to pass a string here and give it a name, whatever name, maybe anything. And let's try to return something. So this method must return result of type make. It should return this type of make here. So I'm going to say now you can realize, if anything equal ignore case, like what we did, ignore case, and then we pass the interface now, and this interface is going to be, I'm going to pass continent now, continent. Then if it's a continent, then we want to say return return new continent make. You see, I need to check this, how did I type here, because it doesn't give me the, let's see, how did we write the methods here. Continent make, let's see, this object copy, and this is what I want here. I'm trying to instantiate this this object here, and else if anything dot echo ignore case, then we have to say people, or we have to write people interface, people, and then we have to return new people make. Okay, and now at the end of the day we have to return now. Okay, so this is a master, it's like a master make. So we are trying to use this to create a method which return type is going to be make, and we are saying string anything. So we are saying if anything equal ignore case continent, then we are going to instantiate this continent make. And if you follow back to the continent make, which is here, around here, this one, so we are going to instantiate this object, and you can see what is happening here on this object here. So it means we are going to call this one, this method, if this one. But in case if it this people make, then you also see here on people make, here people make, this is what's going to happen. It's going to run this one. So we can write the main method and try to test this. So, and And I need to write the main method here. Maybe let's say give a class name, a main method, main test, and I'm going to select this public void main instead of writing it, but generate it, auto generate it. Then I'm going to create an object, or I'm going to use this interface to and give it a variable content make, and it's gonna be master make dot get make, and I'm going to pass a content here, content, and later on I'm going to give, let's give a space, let's say system sysout. Just want to give a space here, print a line without anything. Then I use content and content one, let's say equal to content make dot get content, and let's pass something like let's pass Africa, and now let's use this content variable here, content one, and then we call the method get a country name. I need to use this one here, get country, into call this method here. And if you cannot get if it's showing error, it means that I typed wrong, but I have to change to this. So we can do that maybe for all continents. Control Alt down arrow, and here first I need Europe, Europa, and then I need Asia, and here we need to change this to 2 and this one to 3. Okay, and also this one to 2 and this one to 3. Okay, now if you want to make people, we do almost exact the same thing. So I can give maybe empty line here, and then I do the same, make people make equal to master make dot get, and then we pass people here. Okay, and then we use people and then people type 1 say equal to people make dot get people, and then we pass a rest here, let's say white people, and then we use this variable here, the object people type 1 to call the get language here function. See, so we do the same thing 3 times, and here we have to copy this only, and then here you need to change to black people, and then Asian people, let's say. No, mixed mixed people, yeah. And here we check this one, we do the same as this one. So this is 2, and then 2 here, and this one is 3, and this one is 3. So you can see, if we save and we try to run this program, main run as a Java application, so you see we got this, we got the African countries, European, and we get the result. But anyway, the idea here is not about getting all this result, but the idea is the process that we use to get the we get where we have got. So you can see what I did. I had two interface I have two interface here, the interface continent, another interface people, and I implemented. So you have seen the way I did. So this is more like it's the whole idea about a dependency injection. So instead of doing all this kind of job, it's we are going to use a Spring framework to do this job for us. So to initiate the instantiate the object and all that is going to be done with the Spring framework on the under the hood. So you're not gonna see this, but this is how you really have to understand this. Then you will not be surprised when we use we inject or we outwire the interface, maybe variable to the controller or to the DTO or DAO, and or maybe to repository. So we are going to use all this. So this is what is happening underground. So thank you guys, and remember to subscribe, and I'm waiting for you for the next tutorial. Bye bye.